What's up everybody? Welcome to the Average Joe Dividends YouTube channel. In this video, I'm going to show you what I bought with my $100 deposit. And what I did was I divided the $100 into 5 different stocks to buy fractional shares. And I'm going to show you the effect that had on my dividend income. And we're also going to go over the portfolio and some history on it as well. So what we're looking at right now, this is my Average Joe Dividends portfolio. Over at M1, it's a taxable stock brokerage account, and it's about 15% of my current net worth. You can see the value right now. We're just over $275,000. If you can see, just over the last year, we've pretty much gone up and to the right. We've had a few hiccups along the way. So starting last year, we're right at about $205,000. We've gone up. We had a couple dips here going up and down to 228 and then to 242. And then we were in the 270s just in October 18th. We started going back down. And then with the election, we've gone back up and now we're heading back down a little bit. You can see though, the money weighted return below to the right is right almost at 30%, so 29.87. And this is going to be changing as the markets are still live. And I did my buy a couple days early because I have a lot going on again this week. So I just wanted to get this over with and show you my picks. So without further ado, let's go to the activity log and I'll show you what those 5 picks were. You can see here's the 5 buys. There was 2 cents left over from previous trading that was not resolved. So we're going to put that to work here. So 2 cents. And first up was waste management for $20. And the quantity of fractional shares is 0.08863. So it's a tiny amount, 8% of a share. But I'll show you though that it will make a little bit of a difference for the next dividends for all of these positions. And then Hershey's, they've been struggling quite a bit recently, and $20.02 went to work for me, and that bought just a little over 10% of a share at 0.10912. And Hershey's was close to the $200 mark not too long ago, so I've been buying the dip. And it's kind of similar to what happened with Starbucks, where it was in the 70s for a while, and now it's close to $100 again. So I'm just going to buy up Hershey's a little at a time while it's going down. And next up is FNF. So this bought a little bit more because their share price is lower. The $20 bought 0.3285 of a share. And then Digital Realty, they're like a data center REIT pretty much, and I invested $20, and then you can see it bought 0.11127 of a fractional share. And then last up is Yum Brands, and their most famous brand underneath their umbrella is Taco Bell, also Kentucky Fried Chicken. So the $20 went in and bought 0.14747 of a share of Yum. So next up, I'm going to show you the effect that this had in my portfolio. Also, I'm going to show you my tracking sheet. It's a Google Docs spreadsheet. I'll leave a link below. And also, if you're curious to see what's all in this portfolio, what is contained within these slices, we're going to get into it in a little bit, but I'll leave a link below to that as well. And we're going to grab some data from the holdings tab here in just a few minutes. But before we do that, we're going to go over the Google Docs spreadsheet. And again, I'll leave a link below to it. And this has all my positions within this portfolio. There's currently 52. You can see right now they are arranged by the pay date. So that's the reason for that. And I'll scroll down to our current payers right now, which we're in the month of November. And so far in November, we've received $80.14 from these companies. So Verizon, PNC, Lowe's, and American Express paid me the $80.14. I just woke up in the morning on these days, and then these amounts just appeared there. And you can see the next dividend is going to be higher because what I do is when I receive the dividend, I drip it back into that stock. You can see like Verizon, it's going to go from 59.88 to 60.86. And also, it's going to be the same with the positions, the 5 positions where I bought the fractional shares. We can see, Yum Brands and Waste Management, I put in their current dividend, and we're going to see the next dividend change for those. And we also have Hershey's and then F&F. We're going to go over the $10 mark, so we'll see F&F change to green. Anything for the next dividend that's $10 above will be in green. We won't quite get there with Digital Realty though, but it will move it up from the 834, and we'll see that grow as well. But this sheet, it tracks all my positions, and I'll scroll over here. It shows the current share price using a Google Finance function, and then the average share price, that is from M1, and as well as the shares. It's going to do a VLOOKUP on the M1 data tab. We'll get into that in just a second. Here's the current market value. If I were to sell out of each of these positions, you can see SCHD. I have over $103,000 worth of SCHD. Here's my cost basis. Here's my gain or loss in dollars. Here is the gain or loss expressed in percentage. Anything 25% or above is going to be in green. And then we can see here's the current quarterly dividend per share. SCHD is variable. They'll be announcing a new dividend in December, and it's always different every quarter. And then I have a couple monthly payers here, O Realty, and then BST. Those are in blue. Those pay me each and every month. And we can see here's the current yield if I were to buy more Yum shares, which I did. And then here's my yield on cost. And since I am ahead with Yum, my yield on cost is higher because I put in less money to get that yield, is pretty much how it works. So here's the pay date, and again, everything is sorted by this. So when Yum Brands announces their next dividend, it's going to be approximately December 7th, 3 months later. I will put in the new date, and then I will sort them, and then Yum Brands will move down to December 7th. It'll move down right here with Southern Company, which has already announced their new dividend. And again, here's the next dividend I can expect from Yum Brands in December 7th. But it's going to change because we bought fractional shares. And then here are the total dividends that have paid out to me. It's kind of a historical. You can see my first dividend with Yum Brands was $1.68. And then my last one was an even $7. And then if I didn't purchase any more shares and it was December 7th, I would be receiving $7.14. And then January, that is the date that Yum Brands historically has announced their dividend increases. Hopefully, January 2025, I'll get another 10% increase because that would add over 70 cents to my next dividend. So you can kind of see how that works. And not all my positions here pay a steady increase with their dividends. We can see Oracle is one of them. They do have a track record of raising their dividend, but it seems to be every 2 years or so. And then Realty Income, they are variable because they announce multiple dividend increases throughout the year. It's at least 2 that O does every single year. And then BST, you have others where they haven't had a dividend increase for a couple years. Same with Digital Realty. I know they're really growing. The data center space is really growing. So I think what they're doing is they're just using that money instead of increasing their dividend, their $1.22 quarterly per share rate. They're just probably gobbling up more, more real estate there, more data centers and things like that. But I expect in the future that they probably will announce some dividend increases, hopefully soon. So we've gone over that. I'm going to scroll down to the bottom of the sheet and kind of show you how this sheet works. Again, I'll leave a link below. You're welcome to use it. And I color key everything by the month. We're in November, so we're in the medium greens. Anything monthly is in the blue. Variable dividends, that's SCHD. And if I sold out of a position after the ex-dividend date, it would still be on my sheet in yellow. But I don't have that. I haven't sold out of a position for a little while. Here is the market value. And then here's my cost basis. Here is my gain with all my investments in here, and that includes the dividends. And then here is the yield, average yield percentage, average yield on my cost. And then we can see here are the quarterly dividends. And then since I have a couple monthly pairs, I use this over here, this array, to get the total, and I added in twice to account for O and BST because they're only counted once on this sheet. So it adds it in twice, and we got $3,001.22 is the current quarterly dividend. And we're going to see here's the cash flow average for monthly, quarterly, annual. And I've hard coded these. We're going to see these go up slightly as I update the sheets. And let's go ahead and let's go do that right now. We'll grab the data on the holdings tab, and here's the 52 positions. Everything is arranged from the largest position, which is SCHD, to the smallest. And I'm going to grab that data. We're going to paste it into my sheet. Again, I'll leave a link below so you know exactly what is in this portfolio. Copy, and you can also just look at my sheet too. It's the same thing. And back to my sheet, M1 data tab, I do a paste special, values only. And what it's doing is it's grabbing the shares in my cost basis and average cost per share that I've paid for those positions. And remember, it's only changed for those 5 positions where I bought the fractional shares. You can see SCHD here, and this is kind of messy data. It all goes into the A column, and it just arranges then the shares. You can see how many shares. It's in a dollar format, but I own currently in this portfolio, I own 3,577 shares of SCHD. There's my cost basis. There's my average cost per share for that. So just do explain that. So we'll bounce back here, and we can see that the monthly cash flow average did change, as well as the quarterly and annual. In a second, we're going to grab this $1,000.61. We've essentially bumped it up 20 cents per month. We're going to put that onto a different tab here, the monthly average dividend tracking tab. But before I do that, we're going to take a look at the new dividends for those 5 positions where I bought more fractional shares. So first up, Yum Brands. It would have been 714 on December 7th approximately. It's going to be 723. And then Waste Management moving up from 739 to 745. You can kind of see how I'm doing this just in small increments, but small increments done often over a long enough period of time produces dramatic results. And that's why I do these videos too, is to show what I'm doing. And if you just watch this week to week, the changes are not large. But if you go back to my older videos and see where I was at before, you'll be stunned. So here is Hershey's is up next, and moving from 1034 to 1049. And then F&F, like I said, we've moved up beyond the $10 mark from $9.98 to $10.15, and now we're in the green there. So I'm trying to get all these at least to $10. I'm not going to artificially just buy more Lockheed because I want them above $10 though. I'm going to do it when it makes sense as well. But I want to turn as many of these green as possible. And we can see Digital Realty moving from 834 to 847. And again, you can see we went from $1,000.41 to $1,061. I'm going to grab this value, the $1,000.61, go to the monthly average dividend tracking tab, and we're going to scroll all the way to the bottom here. And what I do is I log every event, whether it's a deposit or a dividend drips. Let's see what else. Dividend raises like Black Hills had back in January 26, 2024. And you can see the changes are sometimes in $3, sometimes it's 20 cents, sometimes it's a penny, but it all makes a difference. It all adds up, and even this 20 cents here is going to, you can see how many events that I have because I'm constantly tracking, these deposits, these drips, and these dividend increases. So let's put this one in here. So this is today, we're 13th today. So we're starting from $1,000.41. We have to change the formatting. Nope, did not have to. And our new is $1,000.61. So not moving up by much. We can see, and this is the result of a $100 deposit. Most of the time I just type this in before doing the video, but this is what I do for every entry. What I'll do is then for the next one, I'll just click plus over here, and then we'll see what the next entry is. And of course it moved it there. I'm not sure what happened there, but we'll worry about that later. But just wanted to show you guys that. You can see there's the 20 cents. And then let's go over my dividend tracker tab. And this tracks pretty much the history of the portfolio as far as the value and also the monthly dividends paid. I also track it by the quarter. You can see the quarter-on-quarter percentage increase. We've had some decreases in there, and it's really SCHD that's done that. And it's really quarter one has been the culprit. And where there's a big dip is because SCHD paid twice in Q3 to make it look artificially large. You can see it went down by 25%, but then it went up almost 100%. And that's because, again, SCHD paid twice in one quarter, which was unusual. So we can see here, here's the current portfolio value rounded to the nearest $100. Here's the 8014 of dividends that have been paid so far. You can see total dividends paid since I started doing these videos in January 2021. And then here is the current annual dividends paid in 2024. Here's what it paid in 2023. We're on track to shatter that one. At least probably, December is going to blow it away, because I'm predicting in December it's going to be over $1,700 for the dividend in December, but we'll see. And then here is my current average monthly dividend, $1,000.61. So it's kind of like a monthly paycheck for this portfolio. And then the monthly increase, this is the result, again, of these monthly dividend tracking changes, where starting from here with the dividend increases, deposits, and drips, they all sum to $5.09, which is where that comes from right there. Just those actions that I've tracked. And then here's the month-over-month gain with the cash flow at 0.51%. And then here's annual. Here's my annual paycheck with just this portfolio, $12,000.07 or $12,007.28. And then here's the annual increase. I just made a deposit. We'll go from $300 to $400. And then let's go close out this video. We'll go over my total net worth. And it really hasn't changed too much from the last video. It's actually gone down a little bit as the stock market has had, I think, 2 negative days, but it hasn't gone down that much. So again, my net worth is, here is what my portfolio, at M1, where I have the individual positions. I know some people will try to critique and say, why do you have individual positions? Why not just have index funds? Well, that's where most of my money is at. You can see here with Vanguard and all these index funds, my 401k in S&P 500 index fund. I have more index funds over at M1. You can see this IRA over there valued over $715,000. And then here's my dividend portfolio, which the largest position is actually an index fund, which is SCHD. So if you counted up my net worth of just the individual positions, it's quite low. It's way less than 10%. I need to make some changes because M1 had some bad news where they lowered their savings interest rate. It was at 4.5%. I don't think I can click over to the left here without showing personal information, but it went from 4.5% to 4.25%. So I'm going to have to make some adjustments on this. Maybe I can just make this adjustment right here, and then also the way the interest is calculated here. And I also calculate the average monthly dividend for these ETFs out here as well. Even though they're in IRAs, I even do it for my 401k. And I base it on the 2023 dividend because all these ETFs have variable dividends. So what I need to do is change this from 4.5% to 4.25%, and it's gonna drop my monthly average dividend, or it's not a dividend, monthly interest for my savings account there down to 208, and actually dropped then my average monthly dividend from all sources. It was over $3,300 just slightly, and now we're at 32.87 because of that. And that's because I'm carrying a lot of cash. And I'm sure Synchrony is going to probably follow suit. It may go down to 4.2 to 4.1. I haven't checked in a few days. I should probably check it and see if that's going down as well. But you can see what my net worth consists of. Of course, what I'm invested in is not investment advice, but this is just, I'm just showing you what I've got and how it goes up and down just through the weeks and months and years. And we can see here, here's my total net worth, still over 1.8 million. And you can see the breakdown between stocks, home equity, and cash. I also split that between pre-tax and after-tax, as well as U.S. and international. You can also take a look at how my net worth has grown when I started tracking this from November 2022. Also put in my net W-2 income, subtracted out expenses. This does not include, this income here is just that. It's my day job. It doesn't include anything else that I do. So my gap is actually larger, but I like to track this though. I want to make sure I'm not spending more than I'm earning from my W-2. So we can follow that as well as my net worth and just track it. And then for the last complete month, you can see what my gap was. I had $406.29. And then my net worth was at 1.742. So you can see just going back a couple years from 1.7, I was still in a 1.2 just 2 years ago. So you can see with these market gains, just how much it's moved the needle for me. So that's all I had to show you guys for this video, was primarily the buys and how that affected my income going forward. And again, the buys are Waste Management, Hershey's, F&F, Digital Realty, and Yum Brands. Let me know in the comments below what you're buying. One of my other choices was AbbVie. They had some bad news, I think, in a schizophrenia drug, and that really tanked them a little bit. I'm still way ahead in AbbVie, but I'll show you. Maybe I can find them and take a look and see where I'm at as far as AbbVie. Here we go. So I'm still doing well with AbbVie, but not as well as I was before. So that's my average share price. They're down to 170. So pretty much 30% gain or loss. You can see what kind of dividends I get from AbbVie. Almost $43. So as well, I'll be receiving on the 16th, just pretty much, just Saturday, I'll wake up and get those dividends. So I won't be talking to you guys until next week. So I'll be receiving these dividends on Friday and Saturday, $77.47. And you'll see a video on Monday with my $100 deposit, as well as a $77.47 snowball buying more fractional shares of all these companies. So thanks again, everybody, for sticking to the end of the video. Please click the like button if you got value from the video. Also subscribe so you don't miss my other videos where I do my buy videos twice a week. I do my total dividends for every month, and I also go over my budget as well. I'm thinking about adding more just like general personal finance videos. Let me know in the comments below if you guys would be interested in that and kind of tell you more of my story. Or if not, I can take the honesty. So thanks again, everybody. I hope everyone has a great day.